What's going on there, race fans? It's Apex Predator here again, bringing you today a Nations 1 make with the Shifter 125. So that's 125cc's shifter because it's got a gearbox, and yeah, it's a go-kart race. Brilliant. Been looking forward to one of these for a very long time on this game. I've barely driven the kart on GT Sport, so this was a good excuse to put in some laps and see if I could get comfortable with it. I'm not going to lie, at first it felt absolutely horrible. But this whole game felt horrible to me at first, to be honest with you. I just haven't dialed down the settings on my steering at all. So I had to change a lot of steering settings to get this thing to feel drivable. I was eventually comfortable with it though. So we hop into qualifying here. I spent probably 30 to 45 minutes practicing before the start of this race, just trying to put a lap in. I got a 43.4, which at the time I was happy with. Since then, I played a bit in the evening, and I got that time down to like 43.1s. I hit a 42 in the race, but that's in Slipstream, obviously. And Slipstream is crucial for qualifying in a kart race, especially on a track like this. Look at the long straights. Look at how long you're on the throttle for. And I just struggled to find somebody to slipstream with, both in the qualifying and in the race, and with the penalties, because bump drafting is a legitimate karting strategy. My local track, I do it all the time. It's a track called PFI, if any of you know of it, or if any of you are around Nottinghamshire, Grantham, that kind of area. Great track, fantastic outdoor track, one of the best in the UK, and regularly sort of touted as one of the best in Europe as well. So I highly recommend you check out PFI, JM Kart Sport, Paul Fletcher International. Cracking outdoor track. Have a look. I might even put a link or something in the description. Great track. Please check it out. If you want to give karting a go, I think outdoor will give you the best experience. And they have a great fleet of karts, really responsive karts, which is quite rare at an arrive and drive place. Usually the karts are pretty sluggish, not very responsive, but not at PFI. Anyway, I've massively digressed. Struggling with qualifying. So look, there's free track, which is usually quite good in qualifying, but not in karting. You need that draft, and like I say, especially on this track. But with penalties, it's a bit trickier. So because you can't do the bump drafting, got way out of shape there. Really struggled in this qualifying session through that last sector. In the race, I was fine. For some reason, in the qualifying, I don't know if it was just that a bit of downtime between the practice session and doing this qualifying. I just wasn't quite in the zone. Not sure. But yeah, because of the penalties, you can't really bump draft. So what you need to do to make the most of the slipstream is have someone cooperating with you, and you both sort of slipstream past one another on the straights. So although you're not bump drafting, you're still giving the other person a bit of tone, and they come past, and then they give you a bit of tone, and you can pass, and then you give them a bit of tone, and just work like that. What you don't want to be doing is using the slipstream and going, oh look, I'm way faster than this person, and just throwing it up the inside, because you're just going to slow you both drivers down. And that's what we see happen in the race. Not so much in this qualifying session, but in the race. So I've given Jamie a little boost there. I think he gets a good. I think he gets quite a good lap. Not quite top 3, not quite podium, but certainly up there. And I was thinking, right, okay, here we go. We've got someone fast. We can get a bit of slipstream. Normally I'd bump draft there. I don't want to be sending it around here, but because of the penalties, you can't bump draft. I was like, well, maybe in hindsight I should have just stayed tucked in behind him actually. But you know, in the heat of the moment, hard to know what to do. So he's getting some good tow from me here. Not too bad through there, a bit hesitant on my throttle. I'm going to push your way out of here. But as you see, we're going to struggle to get a good qualifying lap. I think in the end I got a 43.1 without slipstream, which is a pretty good lap, but I think P1 in the end was a 42.2 in this session. Very good lap. Obviously a lot of slipstream there. P2 was a 42.4 and P3 was a 42.5. So the podium all in, good 42s. And I'm currently sitting on a 43.4, so I'm a good second off. But I've not really had a good slipstream partner, as you can see. So I'm not too fussed about pace. Pace is good. And remember, like I say, I've not driven the kart in this game much. Now, I will confess that karting is my hobby. Karting's probably the thing that I like to think I'm best at. GT6, I was very competitive in the karts, raced with some good guys. I gave it one go when I first got this game, but because I was still setting up the wheel, and as I say, I just found it really weird. So I've sort of been waiting for a daily race or something like this, an FIA race, just to give it another look and give it some time. And yeah, really, by the end of the day, I was feeling really happy, really enjoying it. I felt at one with the kart again, which at the start of the day felt a million miles away. It just felt so twitchy, so, I don't know, just didn't feel nice. But lowering the steering wheel torque helped, lowering the steering wheel sensitivity helped. And yeah, just have a good play with the settings. I wouldn't recommend using driver aids if you're using a wheel. I found Tiger Hayes in this lobby, he's on my friends list, so I was able to look at one of his laps and I saw him using counter steer, and I was wondering if that would be quite useful for the kart, because it is very twitchy. I can imagine counter steering helpful, so I did like a couple of laps with it on, but I just found it made the kart feel really horrible. And with a kart, you need to use, so those moments where it feels like it's about to give up, you actually need that just to rotate the kart, just to get the, just to get it rotating. So I wouldn't recommend it, and I wouldn't recommend traction control either. But if both of them help, then obviously by all means go for it. So I lifted off there. I realised that I'm not going to get anywhere near the top 10 if I'm not using Slipstream. So I figured, right, this guy's in P4 at the moment, might be a good candidate just to try and get a lap, just try and Slipstream. He's wide there, so I've just taken that invitation to go up the inside. I'm going to give him a bit of Slipstream. The plan was for him to Slipstream past me here, but he's not really doing so. He's kind of in the way. I've not turned in as much as I'd like to there because he's there and he's lost it anyway. So there's another Slipstream opportunity gone. And as you can see, there's no one really around me. There's someone else here. Thank you. Look at that. Totally in the way. It wasn't a lap anyway, but that just made sure that it definitely wasn't a lap. Oh, big twitch, and he's lost it. So, I'm not going to get any Slipstream for this lap. So what I probably should have done was lifted at the end of the lap. But I wasn't really thinking, I was just trying to race. So I've lifted at the start of the lap, which is blown another lap, which I didn't need to do. If I had lifted at the end of that last lap, I wouldn't have had to have scrapped this lap as well, but never mind, we'll put that one down as a lesson. Luckily it's quite a short lap. I think that was the other thing I was thinking of. If it was like a 2-minute lap, I would have probably not... I've no idea where he was going. That's a massive penalty. Which I can't serve because there's a yellow flag, but I don't want to blow another lap, so I'm just going to stay here and just try and serve it. Please, 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 please. Felt like an absolute eternity. And now look, there's no Slipstream. I don't really have enough time to wait and try and pick up Slipstream, so I was like, right, I'm just going to have to just try and bang in a lap. Hopefully no one's in the way. Alright, I don't have Slipstream, but I know I can go faster than the lap I currently have. But yeah, that's basically how you blow a qualifying session. Right there. Absolutely horrible session. Horrible session. But what can you do? We'll try and have a good race. Pretty neat lap so far. Let's just try and tie it together in this final sector. You need some throttle there. Not too much though because you'll spin, but just enough just to drive the kart through. Little lift there just to steady the kart and drive through the the final sector. I think we might pick up a tiny bit of Slipstream from that guy in front, but not too much. But there we go, it was enough for, what was it like? I think 14th in the end. It's showing 11th at the moment, but by the end of the session we would drop down to 14th, which is pretty horrific. There you go, 14th. But without Slipstream, it's not a bad lap. The grid's pretty tightly matched. nice livery there on P1. I know the Red Bull liveries are massively overdone in my opinion, but I do like that one on the kart. It just looks nice. So here we go, R-Scoops in P1, look, with his 42.2, good lap. We've got Frag Copycat in P2 with a 42.4, good lap. And FM11 Star Elite, 42.5. He was a fast driver, but keep an eye out for him. I think he messed up a few people's race. So here we go then. Rolling starts. Key here is to not lose the slipstream. There's a massive gap back to the pack from us. I'm not sure if that's a glitch with the rolling starts, or if someone just didn't get that final sector nailed, or maybe they didn't shift in time, or something's gone on. We've got a big gap. We're not quite in the toe. We maybe are just approaching it now. But I think through this final sector we'll catch up a bit. Just with the clear track. Yeah, and as you can see. So now we've picked up the toe. Now we're okay. "20-lap race, remember, as well. No fuel. Or no fuel consumption, rather. Obviously there's fuel. Stay tight to the curb here, all the way around. You don't drive the kart the same as you would do any other car. You can aim for this curb, don't hit it too hard, you just want to sort of gently go on it, and it does unsettle the karts, but it just gives you that extra bit of rotation and direction change. On the throttle here, look, just to stabilise the kart. Bit of a block, but never mind. And watch what I do when I'm in the toe and there's nowhere to go. I do this miraculous thing where I lift my right foot a little bit. If only more people did that. It's getting a bit tight here. Just see on the radar a little gap to the left of this guy, so we go for it. But everyone's going to be in the toe behind, remember. That Star Elite guy, P3, came on the track pretty horribly there. So we've got Karts down the outside, Karts looking down the inside. We've got a penalty. But we are up into 9th. We've got Tiger Hayes behind, who I've raced with a lot on GT6. He won't recognise my name, but I recognise his. So I know this guy's a good karter. I know he knows what's going on with slipstreaming and stuff. Usually, as I say, we'd be bump drafting one another, but because of the penalties, you can't. So what you want to be doing is just slipstreaming past one another. So don't defend if someone's got a run, which arguably you shouldn't really be doing anyway, but particularly in karting, in slipstream, on a track like this, if someone's got a run on you, let them pass, and then you'll get their slipstream, and then you'll get past them. And just work together like that. So it's going okay so far. Alright, we're a bit far behind the rest of the pack, but if we work together there's a chance maybe we can catch up, especially if there's some mistakes or something. So at the moment it's going okay. Look, Tiger Hayes is consistently getting a good run on me down the straight, and like I say, he would normally want to be bump drafting me along, but can't because of penalties, so this is the way to do it. Just come past, tuck in, come past, tuck in. It gets a bit trickier when there's 3 of you trying to do it, as I think we'll see. You see that little lift I did there? And again, look, miraculous, isn't it? If only more people did that. And alright, we give him a little bump into the corner there, but again, legit karting strategy. Irritating penalty for it though. And again, I can't read penalties when I'm commentating, but I can't see what it is now. I think it's about 3 seconds. So now we're slipstreaming past Tiger Hayes. We do have that third driver in the toe of both of us as well. I'm not sure if he's hit Tiger Hayes a bit there. There's some kind of incident that we've just gone through. So we're up into 6th now. I was looking in the mirror a bit too much there. Just drifted off the track. I may have squeezed Tiger Hayes' run a little bit too much there, but I don't know. It's tricky with 3 karts. Anyway, he's okay. We've got this kart on our outside. Just focus on getting a good exit here. Tiger Hayes swoops past. That's fine. We'll get the slipstream. Lovely bit of slipstream. Pulls to the outside so we can go to the outside, and now he's going to get some slipstream from us, or he would. He's got shunted out of the way a little bit by that guy. Does he have enough of a run to make it into his next corner? Not really. The Spaniard's just punted us out of the way. He was P3, that guy. But we've just been given a penalty for that. So now it's getting very busy. We're doing our hardest to stay clean though. And this Italian, the combat guy, keep an eye on him as well. Horrible place to try and serve your penalty. So now look at the size of our penalty after that. It's a good, what is it? I can't see, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, it's pretty big, it's going to start ticking. It's pretty much ruins the race. There you go. So I think we try and serve that just here at the end of the lap. Yeah, try and get out of the way, look. I'm not doing it on the end of a straight like that Spaniard. So now, I'm trying to get going again, but I can see Tiger Hayes has got the momentum, so I lift, let him take the corner. Fantastic. And a penalty, oh no, I think it was a penalty, but I've served it because I'm spinning. Nearly lost it, regaining control. So now what are we, 17th? Brilliant. We've just cut to 16, about to start lap 17. Past Nichelle here, who's been involved in some kind of incidents as well. But I know this guy's quite a good driver, so as you can see, look, on to lap 17. So even at lap 17, I'm still trying to feel positive. Alright, we've had a horrible race, but with a bit of bump drafting, and well, not bump drafting, sorry, slipstreaming, I'm sure there's going to be more incidents. You know, maybe we can salvage some kind of a result from this race. So just get your head down, keep going. I know I've got the pace. I'm feeling more and more confident in the kart as the race goes on. Remember, this is my first race in a kart. I've not even done any lobbies with it. Nice and clean. Here's the Italian, Combat 111. Qualified quite well, I think he was sort of 5th or something like that, but he's obviously not racing very well. But we've got the potential to do some good, clean, triple slipstreaming. Let's see if we are able to utilise that potential. So look, we're in the toe, but look, again, you do that thing where you just lift your right foot a bit, magic. Good exit, nice bit of toe from Nichelle. It stays wide, we take the inside line, the Italian goes for it as well even though there's no room. We've left him room, he's off the track, bang. All he had to do there was lift his foot slightly. All he had to do was lift his foot slightly. He doesn't have to just, but instead he just kept his foot in it and tried to find some space on the grass, I suppose. I just don't understand it. Anyway, there we go. Can't even see myself on that board. Horrible race. And that was really unsatisfying, and because it's a nations race, an FIA race, you can't do it more than once. So I went to the lobbies after that race just because I just wanted a good kart race. That was not a good race for me at all. Just penalties, pushed off the track, horrible. So I hopped in the lobby and found a practice room for that same nations race, and me and this Spaniard had a great little battle, so I just thought I'd stick this at the end. Just, I don't know, just why not, a bit of extra content. We had a good little battle as well. Unfortunately, because there's no mirror in this view, you can't see, but he is right behind us this whole race. There you go, look. I think I switched to the replay cam as well for the last lap, just to get, just so you see the battle, but great little scrap. The lap time's not really there because we're just fighting, but because it's only a 5-lap race and it's clearly that it's just between me and him, so we can just have a bit of a race. We don't need to try and work together to get lap time. We can just race. Yeah, with this kart, like in real life, you can just almost think it around the corners. Barely have to work the wheel. I've heard some people saying that you don't need to brake for that corner. I'm not sure I agree. I mean, maybe if you're going slowly enough you don't need to brake, but I'm pretty sure that all the top 10 are braking into that corner. Yeah, you need to brake. It just helps move the kart. I can hear him just on our outside, on that left rear wheel. And then, yeah, in real life he'd be nudging, just bumping the rear bumper just ever so slightly, because when you've got two engines, you've got twice as much power cutting through the same bit of air, you know what I mean? So it's a legit strategy when you're karting. Obviously you don't be ramming people, but when you're as close as me and this guy are, and you are just right next to each other, it's not an issue just to tuck in and just push the other kart along the track, because it's advantageous to both of your races. Final lap. Here he goes, up the inside. We're going to hold the inside line here. A little lift to let him come through, but we're in the slipstream. Go on board with my view for the last corner. So we're through here, but I just wasn't tight enough there. He gets a great run and just manages to get it up the inside on that final part of the chicane and take the win. What a good race. So there we go. I thought I'd end on that. Bit of a better note than that last one. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed. I will definitely do some more karting races if they're ever in sport mode again. And I would love to have some lobbies as well where we just have kart races, so I'm probably going to be starting some karting lobbies. Feel free to add me, find those lobbies, come and join me, and maybe we can do some streams or something in the future. But for now, I think that'll do. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you again soon. Thanks, bye!